Because I believe there's such a thing as being too late. And that moment is almost upon us. We are in a defining moment in our history. Our nation is at war. Our planet is in peril. And the dream that so many generations fought for feels like it's slowly slipping away. You know it in your own lives. People are working harder and harder just to keep pace. They've never paid more for health care, never paid more for college or gas at the pump. It's hard to save, it's hard to retire. Our healthcare system is broken. Our school system, despite the slogans, leaves millions of children behind, unable to compete in an international economy. Our retirement system is in tatters. Uh-oh. Somebody's really upset back there about the problems we are facing. And given the challenges that we face, I determined that we could not afford to wait. We cannot wait to fix our healthcare system. We can't wait to fix our schools. We can't wait to end global warming. We cannot wait to bring this war in Iraq to a close, a war that should have been inaugural and should have been reversed. We cannot wait. We cannot wait. And so I concluded that the size of our challenges had outstripped the capacity of a broken and divided politics to solve them. And I determined as well that the American people were hungry, were desperate for a different kind of politics. A politics that was grounded in our common values and our common ideas. A politics that was based not on ideology, but on practicality and common sense. A politics that was not based on spin, but was based on straight talk. A politics that wasn't about tearing your opponent down, but it was about lifting the country up. That's what our But you know, I was also betting on you, because I have always been convinced that change in America does not happen from the top down, it happens from the bottom up. It happens because we are not as divided as our politics suggest. And I believe that we are a decent and generous people willing to work hard and sacrifice for the next generation. And that if we could just mobilize our voices collectively to challenge the special interests in Washington, but also to challenge ourselves to be better, then there was no problem we could not solve, and there was no destiny we could not fulfill. And I have to say that over the course of this year, my faith in the American people has been vindicated. It has been confirmed, because people have been coming out in droves, and they've been asking tough questions, and they've lifted the hood, and kicked the tires, and asked, read the speeches of all the candidates, really being engaged in this process in a way we haven't seen in a very long time. Now, I'd like to say that's just because of the quality of the candidates, but I have to admit that part of the reason all of you are here, part of the reason we've been seeing such interest in this election, is that all of you know this coming November you're going to be going in and choosing the next President of the United States. And you know that when you pick up that ballot, the name George W. Bush will be nowhere to be found. The name of my cousin, Dick Cheney, will now be on the ballot. That was really embarrassing. When that report came out, when they do these genealogical surveys, you're hoping you're related to somebody cool. Abraham Lincoln or Willie Mays, But Dick Cheney, that's a letdown. Anyway. on the ballot. So we know that the era of Scooter Libby justice and Brownie incompetence and car roll politics will finally be over. Thanks to you. It'll be over. But that's not the only reason you are here. That's not the only reason people have been paying attention to this election. People don't want to just be against something. They want to be for something. They want an affirmation that we can still work together across boundaries of race and religion and region and even political party to actually do big things. And I know this because I've been in a conversation with you over the last year. And that's what you've told me. You've told me your stories. You've shared with me what's happening in your lives. And all too often, they've been stories of struggle and stories of hardship. And just today down in Reno, we had a roundtable discussion. I had 4 folks from Reno, ordinary folks. 2 of them were losing their homes because of the home foreclosure crisis. You know, one young woman, heartbreaking story. Lovely young woman. She had slipped a disc. She had been working as a restaurant manager. She couldn't do that, had to take a job that paid less money. Then her husband, who's a police officer, contracts cancer. He's being out, he gets treatment, operations, chemotherapy, finally heals up, goes back on the job, on a motorcycle, gets hit by a car, back in the hospital. So now they haven't been working for several months. They're on the brink of losing their home. But that's a story that's repeated all across the country. People who are doing the right thing, but have a run of bad luck and nobody's there to give them a little bit of help. Now, I talked to senior citizens who have seen companies they used to work for go through bankruptcy, dump their pensions, even though the CEOs are still getting bonuses or getting a golden parachute. I've seen folks who are working for 20, 30 years at a plant, making products, making profits for shareholders. Suddenly the plant moves overseas, the rug's pulled out from under them, they're trying to figure out how they're going to make ends meet, working $8 an hour at the local Walmart. I talked to teachers who are having to moonlight because they can't make it on a teacher's salary. You know, one young woman was working in a donut shop after school just to make ends meet. And I talked to teachers who were digging into their own pockets to pay for school supplies because the schools are underfunded all the time. All the time. Come, some teachers right here. I met with young people who were uncertain about their future and don't know how they're going to be able to afford college. I talked to veterans back from Iraq or Afghanistan. They are proud of the service that they rendered, and rightfully so, because they have done everything that's been asked of them. Our soldiers have performed brilliantly.